Oh, hey. Will y'all let me know if you can hear me? Hey, all three of you. I got a little treat for you guys tonight. Let me get my chat up and running. There we go. Hi. Hey, Taryn. Hey, Noelle. Happy Taurus season. And that Taurus Aries cusp. If you guys are liking here, throw a like up. We're about to get into an energy check-in. It's going to be a little bit different than what we usually do, but I feel like you're going to like it. I'm incorporating the Sabian symbols for the energy at the given moment into the reading today. So I'll be going through each sign and letting you know what the symbols are. If you guys don't know what Sabian symbols are, I'm going to start doing a lot more informational stuff about that. Basically, it's 360 channeled messages from a psychic named Elsie Wheeler that correspond to all 360 degrees of the zodiac wheel. So like Aries 1, Aries 2, Taurus 3, 4. It's got one for every sign, every degree of every sign. And the messages I've been getting from them have been absolutely insane right now, especially today. So basically what I did, I just took a snapshot of the birth chart, the astrological chart at the time that I started channeling, getting ready for this reading. And I took down the degrees of all the planets and asteroids. And I've unlocked a whole new level of weird spirituality stuff that I can tap into now. And basically what's happening is I'm looking at 30 points in a birth chart, okay? Can y'all see me and hear me and everything? Because I can't like even watch myself on my own screen right now. I don't know what that's about. So I suggest that you order one of those from me. It's not a regular birth chart reading. I'm not a trained astrologist. I know a whole lot about it, but I intuitively read charts. It's very different than scientifically like an astrologer would do. And I use the Sabian symbols to do that. So with that being said, we are going to get started with the energies for today. And I'm going to just go sign by sign to make it easier, okay? And I need to give you guys, I'm telling you, I've been led very specifically to tell you all to stop fixating on your sign, all right? Especially your sun sign. Your sun sign is such a small part of what makes up your astrological, makeup or whatever. And I got a channeled message today that your zodiac sign is just as polarizing as a political affiliation, okay? Democrat, Republican, and whatever you are, I don't give a shit, okay? All of those things, putting people into boxes and groups are ways to separate us, not ways to combine us. The truth is that all of you, okay, have multiple energies in your birth chart. Sure, you could be a Cancer sun, but you could have, like I do, a Scorpio moon, a Scorpio rising, and then a shit ton of planets in your 8th house, which makes you feel more like a Scorpio to people, all right? That's why it's important to get your whole chart and stop fixating on your signs. I'm looking at the energy for today, and I'm going to tell you how that might be affecting you and everyone as a collective, and why you're feeling the way you're feeling, why you're doing what you're doing, all of that stuff. If you guys want super chats, all right, I will take them tonight. $20 are guaranteed. All that info is in the description box. Let me see. All right, so let's just get into it. If you guys want personals, info's in the description box. If you want to look at the Sabian symbols, it is spelled S-A-B-I-A-N, okay? You have them all over your birth chart. Whatever degrees your planets and everything are sitting at are where your symbols will be. So I'm going to start now with Aries. All right, when I started channeling the energy that I was picking up for Aries, all right, first of all, Aries was ruling the 6th house in the chart. That's not where Aries belongs, all right? Aries belongs in the 1st house. 6th house is Virgo energy. What was sitting in the 1st house in Aries, so anyone who's got a lot of Aries in their chart, this message might be applicable to you, or if anyone is feeling a lot of fire energy right now, or if you're feeling Aries season that we just came out of, pay close attention to these messages. Let me grab the degrees so I can go over these with you. All right, so Aries was ruling the 6th house, which is Virgo's house. That is the house of work, tedious stuff, day-to-day tasks, pets, things that you have to do on a daily basis. It's basically like an obligation, all right? It's an assignment. It's something that you have to do. You have to heal. You have to work at. It's hermit energy. It is, Virgo energy. So the things that were sitting in the 6th house with Aries energy attached to them were the part of fortune, Chiron, Eris, and Pallas, okay? The part of fortune is basically where you will find your luck, or where you will find some kind of a purpose or a reason for what's going on right now. So if you're looking for a reason why all these things are happening to you right now, or how you get out of these things, or how you make the best out of a bad situation, you would look to something like the part of fortune. That is today sitting in Aries 1, all right? Aries 1's Sabian symbol is a woman rises out of the water, a seal rises and embraces her. I got a very hardcore message from this one, especially pertaining to Ukraine. Woman rising out of the water gave me the image of birth of Venus, okay? Where we find our luck, where we understand what is happening to us, is we have to have some kind of an emotional rebirth with emotional intelligence. Venus, like being birthed out of the water, if you've ever seen that painting, it's beautiful. Venus represents love. It's Taurus energy, which is the season that we're going into. We have to be very sure that we're using that Venus energy for good right now. Like, it sounds so fucking corny, but like, love is the way that we get out of this. Seeing the beauty in the breakdown is the way we get past this. That's how we find our good luck and make, some lemonade out of lemons. I also got a very literal message for the Ukraine war. That is, woman rising out of water is very feminine, all right? There's a huge pull and push between masculine and feminine energies in the universe as a whole right now. You see it in the news everywhere, all right? It's everywhere. And it's probably going on in your life right now. It's like being challenged to either be overly emotional or unemotional, have to be very, very passive or very, very aggressive. It's a push-pull energy that I'm feeling and sensing for the collective. But when I heard that symbol, a woman rises out of the water, which this is like a feminine emerging out of a very emotional situation. This is emotions bubbling to the surface, literally. And then with the seal rising to embrace her, I literally saw a Navy SEAL embracing women. Like I saw like the beaches of Normandy, which is a bunch of, army people storming it. It was something like that. And then the feminine being just glad to see them and embracing them. And it's also something coming to somebody's rescue is what I felt like that. Even though that's not like what the Sabian symbols interpret that to be. I'm giving you my take. These symbols can be interpreted, 6 ways from Sunday. It doesn't matter. So that's where our part of fortune lies, all right? It's in Aries energy. It's a fresh start, and it's falling in the 6th house of Virgo where we heal. There has just been like a tower moment collectively, I feel like, for everybody. The way you pick up the pieces, all right, because we are starting over. We are entering a new phase. You pick it up, all right, with that Aries energy. You think Page of Wands energy, Knight of Wands energy, being enthusiastic about going forward with what it is that you're trying to do. You need to get excited, all right, about the change. It's like embracing that death energy that Scorpio brings, because you have to get excited because that means something new will be reborn. Also sitting in the 6th house in Aries, because I do whole sign astrology also, by the way. was Chiron. Chiron is the wounded healer. It's one of the centaurs. There's several of them that I will go over today. Chiron is the place in your birth chart where you have an open, gaping wound. It's the thing that holds you back. It's the thing that sabotages you. It's where your nightmares come from, your fears come from, all of those kind of things. Chiron today was sitting on 13 Aries. 13 Aries is an unsuccessful bomb explosion. This is a bomb, all right, that was supposed to explode, and it's now, you know, concealed. Let me get a better list of these Sabian symbols. So Chiron, all right, the wounded healer, how we heal this, there is a bomb. I've been feeling this like volcano energy collectively for everybody, and it's not just the war, it's for everybody. It's a big shift in the north and south nodes, and that affects the whole planet. Think of our planet. The tides are ruled by the moon. All right. The moon can move the oceans. It can definitely move us and our emotions. All right. If it moves an ocean and a body of water, it can do the same within the human body. We're mostly water. When the nodes shift, it has a major, you know, effect on humanity. This one here, sitting on Chiron and Aries in the house of, you know, Virgo of healing. What we're supposed to be doing right now collectively to fix whatever's going on in our life that's like spiraling out of control is to focus on this energy right here. This, first of all, scared the crap out of me for the war because obviously a bomb, you know, coming up in the symbols today was very ominous. But let me read you the full one because that one I had was like a half-assed version. Where is it? Aries 13. Okay, there it is. A bomb which failed to explode is now safely concealed, okay? The way we collectively heal what's going on right now is this bomb that's ticking. We're all in this ticking time bomb energy, feeling like something has to give or we're gonna explode. We have to push that down somehow. We have to get rid of the ego. Aries energy is about ego. We have to pull our ego out of whatever this is, all right, that we're all going through collectively. Whatever this challenge is, whatever is going on, all right, we cannot let this time bomb go off. We cannot let this bomb explode. We have to conceal whatever this is. That's how we fix this. We have to get control of our Aries energy, okay, which is to war. Aries is ruled by Mars. Aries wants conflict. Aries wants action. Aries wants drama, okay? And we can't let that happen. That's what we need to fix. Our propensity to go fly off the handle or to explode, instead of concealing that, you know, ticking time bomb until we can diffuse it and make it less deadly. This scared me for the war, okay? This is what we're supposed to be working on. I feel like there are, you know, bombs that are coming. Obviously, they're coming every fucking minute. That's not psychic channeling right there. But this, to me, the only way out of this is to stop this in its tracks. I feel, y'all, I don't want to be an alarmist because I feel like it's irresponsible to do that because what I do is not scientifically proven. It's, you know, it's not something people should just take and hold to be Bible. You know what I mean? It's something take with a grain of salt, astrology and predictions and things like this. But I feel, all right, World War III coming. I do. And I don't know if that means a literal war over there is going to, you know, escalate to drag. It already has, you know, drug everyone in. But I'm talking like what we know about World War I, World War II. I don't know if that's the way it plays out or if this is a more spiritual war that is playing out right now. I feel like there's a war right now between the masculine and the feminine where the feminine is trying to, you know, push through and take over for a while and, you know, control the ship. Because the masculine's been out of control, okay? We have to stop solving conflict with our fist is what, you know, I got from that. And I don't mean just like actual punching, like just the violent way, all right? The need to pop off, the need to snap back, the need to immediately respond. Aries energy is can be very childish. It's like a spoiled toddler. It's like a tantrum energy when you don't get your way. And that's what this is. That bomb that failed to explode, safely concealed, that is dealing with your childishness and your selfishness and putting that aside and not allowing that to cause destruction like a bomb would. You have to safely conceal that, all right? Also got a lot of jealous energy with that. A lot of y'all are going through something right now where jealousy is eating away at you to the point where it's going to cause a tower moment and something to explode. I also got a channeled message for the war. I do feel like there are going to be some discoveries coming up of nefarious weapons in certain places that we did not know were in certain places. I'm getting heavy downloads for the Transnistria region in Moldova. A lot of new, I'm a lawyer, all right, by trade. For over a decade, I was a lawyer and a litigator. I'm a huge history nerd, a scholar before anything. I know my history. I understand politics. I'm very well versed in that stuff. I'm very close friends with several politicians here in America, several. And a lot of people are discounting that region, that Transnistria region in Moldova that is controlled by Russian-backed separatists right now. That is a weapons cache. They feel like a lot of those weapons are outdated or that they're expired and they don't feel like there's a lot of troops there or anything. I've been having visions or feeling, right, in my bones that that region is going to be used to somehow encircle Odessa. I feel like Odessa is the next thing to go. That's what they want the most right now. I feel like all of this stuff is a distraction. I feel like everyone is grossly underestimating Putin's intelligence. I feel like all these analysts and all these men and people saying, you know, I can't believe he's doing this or he doesn't have this intelligence or, you know, they're very inept. They look very inept, all right? But he plays chess, not checkers. I kept getting that message. He plays chess, not checkers. This is like setting, I'm feeling it's like a setup to draw somebody in to take their queen is what I'm feeling. It's like, I feel like they're surrounding Odessa right now is what they're really trying to do. All right. And you're going to see with the rest of these symbols how creepy this all gets. All right. Next up in Aries, which is my least favorite transit that's going on right now. This transit started back in 2019. Okay. Now think of 2019. The tail end of 2019 is when we first started seeing, you know, Corona come in. This Aries and Aries transit goes from like 2019, I want to say, to like 2024. So we're right in the height, in the middle of all of that. And it's going to go on for another 2 years. Aries is Mars's sister, like the god of, it's the feminine version of Mars. It's almost like Lilith, okay? But more violent, I want to say. Less sexual, more warlike, okay? This transit is rough because you know, that kind of energy is native and thrives and excels in Aries, all right? Which is where it's placed right now, which means we're seeing more violence. That's why we're seeing all these crime rates, escalate. That's why we're seeing, you know, wars breaking out everywhere. We're seeing pandemics. We're seeing death, destruction. Aries is the one who threw the golden apple of discord into the dinner and started the Trojan War. Aries is a shit starter, all right? Aries was jealous. She wasn't invited to the party. So she threw this apple in to mix things up and create chaos among all the people that were excluding her. Aries gets a bad rap in my take, just like Lilith and Baba Yaga and like and Hecate and other dark goddesses and energies. Aries threw that apple of discord in, all right? It said, to the most beautiful, to sum it up, basically. And that, all right, apple of discord, if all of these gods would not have been insane egomaniacs and, you know, these goddesses wanting to be known as the most beautiful, none of this shit would have happened. There wouldn't have been a Trojan War. There wouldn't have been, you know, discord. Aries throws the apple of discord in when people need to heal something about themselves. I think it was Hera, Helen of Troy, and Aphrodite maybe that were all like competing for this apple and wanting to be the most beautiful and all this bullshit. So they tried to, you know, they couldn't decide and nobody could rightfully give it to one or the other. So they chose Paris, who was, you know, king or prince or whatever he was at the time, to make the decision. It's fucking Sophie's choice. Like anybody he chose was gonna piss off the other two, which would create havoc and tower moments and, you know, wrath of the gods. There was no good choice. That's what Eris does, all right? Eris puts you in these impossible positions where you don't have a good choice or a way to get out of the situation, but it's meant to disrupt things and cause a tower moment because there's something wrong. All these women were obsessed with beauty and looks and being the best and known for that, and that was wrong, all right? So yes, Eris did start shit, but it was for a worthy cause, all right, if you follow me on that. So Eris is, you know, doing this transit for 2 more years. Today's Sabian symbol where Eris was sitting is 24 degrees Aries, an open window, and a net curtain blowing into a cornucopia. Think about that in your head, okay? Think of an open window. It's nice outside. It's the beginning of fall or spring when you want to crack your windows open and, you know, get the breeze and feel that wonderful energy coming in. There's all these possibilities. You feel things changing. You feel good energy. You get a breath of fresh air. An open window is clear sight. It's a way in or a way out. It's whatever you want it to be. It's like a turning point, okay? And this energy, this violent energy, this impossible situations are meant to give you a way into or out of a situation. That's what Eris wants. Eris wants to fuck your life up, to give you a way out, all right? Force you out or into a window and to show you that there is, you know, it breaks the glass out of that window, I feel like in this case, to show you a clear path that there are other things out there, that there are possibilities. A cornucopia being referenced in that, cornucopias, you know, symbolize abundance and plentifulness and having everything that you need and unending possibilities. That's what you need to be focusing on right now, all right? You need to see the destruction or the pain or whatever you're losing in your life right now, or you feel like is being taken from you, or the unfairness. And you need to see it as some kind of an opportunity, as a way to, I just felt Jupiter energy, as to expand what it is that you're doing, okay? The other thing that was sitting in Aries in that 6th house was Pallas. Hold on a second. Let me pull my little notesies here. I had something important to say about that. Y'all, I have been on the biggest tangent and wormhole figuring all of this stuff out for you. It was totally worth it though. I don't know where I wrote all this shit down. I had myself a little, oh, there it is. All right, Pallas. Pallas, okay, there we go. It's an asteroid, all right? It's the second one that was found. I got air energy from Pallas. It talks about Athena energy and wisdom. It's cool, feminine wisdom, all right? Women are smart, all right? I feel like we're the smartest species, and we don't get a lot of credit for that, because a lot of times when women want to say things that are true or break them down, or feminine energy, right, they'll be looked at as overly excited or being a drama queen or something like that. Pallas is the embodiment of a strong, unemotional, think an Aquarian female, okay? You leave your emotions out of it, but you still have empathy, and you're allowed to make, you know, clear decisions based on something. So Pallas is in this very triggering energy of Aries, where it does not belong. It belongs in a more, you know, dignified air sign of logic and reason. Aries, I always get, you know, spoiled child. It's the first sign of the zodiac. It's not a calm, cool, collected sign. Aries is not known for that. Pallas doesn't want to be there, all right? She's trying, though. I feel like these asteroids, these TNOs, and these centaurs in your chart and in the, you know, collective chart are what's important right now. I feel like that's what's causing all the chaos in the world, because nobody really pays attention to them because they're so far out there and they have such long orbiting patterns that it's such a nuanced effect that people don't realize it until it gets to be too much. This energy, though, it wants cool, clear-headed wisdom from you right now. And it's hard to get that when it's sitting in that kind of fire energy. But this is a test for you on how to fix what is going on with you. So Pallas was sitting at, what was the degree? Let me see. I want to say it was at 26. Yep, 26, which is a man possessed of more gifts than he can hold. All right. This is somebody who's been, I got Jupiter energy again, overly blessed, overly abundant. It deals with greed and wealth and things like that. It does not make sense to have more than you need. All right. If you are super, super blessed and you have so many things that you can't even, it's also it's getting rid of stuff and baggage. There's a big theme about getting rid of baggage here. Swords energy, cutting out baggage, cutting out what you don't need. You have enough. All right. You're blessed enough. All the other stuff is just fat. Trim the fat. I kept getting trim the fat, trim the fat, trim the fat. There needs to be logical decisions about what you actually need and, you know, what you're hanging on to. All these things aren't gifts. And if you've got more than you need right now, the feminine energy has got to take over as a collective. We cannot keep being in this consuming energy of more. We need more. I need more. Money. Greed. Consume. We have to switch it up to the feminine. And that is what Pallas is trying to get us to do in the house of Virgo right now, is to like be a voice of reason with all this crazy chaotic fire energy that's happening, and show us that all this shit, all right, all these wars, everything that's going on, most of the time when we're at war with ourselves and we're having conflict, it's because our ego is taking over and we're convincing ourselves that we need something that we can't have, or that we're missing something, or that we're lacking somehow. You know, Pallas wants you to realize that in this symbol that you have way more, all right, than you think you do. Even more than you can hold. Most of us might be feeling down and out, but at the same time, you still have something that you could give to another person and survive if you gave it away. You're not at rock bottom. You are not completely, destitute, all right? All right, that wraps up all the ones in Aries. I don't know if I have not looked once at my chat. I don't know if anyone's paying attention or if anyone gives a crap. I feel like I'm going to lose followers left and right for all this shit. All right. I don't care. This is important. All right, let's move on to the next sign, which would be Taurus. All right, Taurus. You were ruling the 7th house in this chart when I was looking at it to start channeling. The 7th house deals with your relationships, and it's Libra energy. It's push and pull. It's masculine versus feminine. It's how we interact with other people. Is it fair? Is it balanced? Are we, are our relationships taking too much, or are we putting too much effort in? What is that about? That's what that house is about. All right. That's where the sun is sitting right now. The sun is at 0 degrees Taurus when I started channeling. That is a critical degree. 0 and 29 in your birth chart are critical degrees. Those are degrees, I feel like, of karma. It shows the transition from one energy into the other. It means you finished your job as, this one energy when the 29th degree, and they're birthing you as a baby into the 0 degree. This to me, I got chickens coming home to roost when I saw this energy. This is how we're dealing with other people. There is a new start, or some kind of something's going on, all right, within our interpersonal relationships and our interactions with other people. Some new phase is starting right now with that 0 degrees Taurus. Let me pull the symbols for you right now. And when I look at 29 and 0 in charts, I look to the 30th of the one before and like number 2 after, because the way that it breaks out, all right, 30 degrees Aries stops at 29:59 degrees Aries, which means that 30th degree, which is technically 0, all right, can belong in either one. It could be either Aries 30 or Taurus 1. So that's where we are right now. Aries 30 was a duck pond in its brood. Taurus 1 is a clear mountain stream. A duck pond in its brood. This is very Cancerian themed. This is very, I got that one little duck went out to play song, if you know that, from preschool. It's talking about how the mother duck is there with her 5 ducks, and every time you go through the round of the song, one of the ducks disappears and they don't come back, and the mom gets all sad and all the ducks are gone. And then all of a sudden they all come back when she calls them, all right? That's the kind of energy with that. And the Clear Mountain Stream, if you've ever been to a Clear Mountain Stream, I'm from West Virginia, all right? The streams are clear there. It's, you can see everything, all right? Even when it's flowing and rushing by you, you can, what was once murky or whatever, you can see, and you can see it crystal clear. It's seeing through emotions to the earth part, is getting to the root of emotions, is kind of what I felt with that symbol. Scary messages too, again, for the war. Duck Pond and its brood, Clear Mountain Stream. I didn't get a scary message for that. I felt like there was hope. I feel like there's hope, or there's a pathway is going to be cleared out for the brood. I almost saw the ducks like floating down the stream. The problem is after that, Taurus too is an electrical storm. We already know what happens, all right, when water gets struck by electricity, and that's concerning. So we need to make sure we get the brood out and down while the stream is clear, all right, before the storm comes. I got a big energy of the sun moving into Taurus right now. It's a big energy of getting to where you want to be quickly, because there is a shit show coming. It's literally getting your ducks in a row is what I felt collectively for you guys. We all need to be getting our ducks in a row, whatever that means for you. After the sun in Taurus, we had Uranus, all right? Uranus is Aquarian energy. It literally deals with rebellion. Whenever you're channeling for or reading for something like a war or a fight or anything like that, or some kind of a conflict, you want to look at what you know Uranus is doing and what's it doing in the sky. Uranus is in Taurus, not a great place. Taurus likes stability. Taurus likes, even-keeled energy, earthy, grounded energy. That's the opposite of what Uranus wants. It hates it, all right? Does not like order. It literally comes in to disrupt order, much like the Aries energy does. It was on 13 Taurus, which is a porter carrying heavy baggage. That's what it felt like, all right? Like this energy right now for the collective, what you guys are feeling right now, it's too much to carry. It harkens back to that a man possessed of too many things, needing to get rid of some. We got to drop the baggage. The baggage needs to be left right here in Taurus season. We just had some kind of an ego conflict during Aries season where everyone was kind of like really hyper focused on themselves, I feel like, and what they need. Right now, it's time to drop that shit in Taurus season. You have to let go of the baggage. When you think of a Taurus can carry baggage, they're the bull, they're strong, they're plow animals. They're meant to carry heavy baggage. The fact that this heavy baggage is showing up in the sign of Taurus shows me, all right, that even this baggage is too much for like a Taurus to handle. Collectively, something has to give. With regards to the war, I was feeling like this, it's hitting a breaking point. It's hitting a wall. I also felt like this, I got a channeled message. I felt like that was Ukraine. Like they're carrying too much for everyone else. Like the fate of where our, population goes into the next generation lies with what happens in this situation. I feel like that's too much baggage for one president, one country, one people to carry when it's such a collective theme. They need help, all right? I keep feeling like there's more assistance than we know of that's coming their way. Something hidden. The other thing sitting in Taurus was Mercury, all right? Mercury is ruled by Gemini, planet of communication. This is how we talk to each other. This is, how we learn. It's Page of Swords energy, teaching, scholarly stuff. It also deals with like your siblings, brothers and sisters, things like that, and conversations. That's also in Taurus. I don't mind that being in Taurus. It feels like maybe we could have some grounded conversations about stuff right now. The symbol for that today was 18 degrees Taurus, a woman airing out an old bag through a sunny window. That's that sunny window that we saw with the curtain open with all the possibilities. This lady here now, she's got an old bag. If any of you are, have carried a purse or a backpack or a briefcase or anything for a long time and you dump it out, there's like crumbs and old shit and you find random things, change, whatever. She's dumping that out the window. She doesn't care what's in the old bag. It's an old bag. She's not even like really looking at it or examining what's being thrown out the window. She's just throwing it out the window. Doesn't give a shit, all right? It's just got to go. It's old. We need to get rid of it. Make room to put something new in it. You got to clear space. This was about clearing space. You need to have conversations with people right now about clearing space and about, you know, letting go. Bygones be bygones energy is what this is. Like, people are still arguing about these little tiny shitty crumbs that are in the bottom of this old bag that this lady is just throw it all out. She doesn't give a crap. It's like not throwing the baby out with the bathwater, all right? You wash the baby off. Same with the purse. You clean the purse out. You don't throw the purse away. You clean it out and then you use it again. It's that baby in the bathwater analogy, all right? When you give the baby a bath and it's just, you don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. You just get rid of the dirty part. That's what this is. It's getting rid of the dirty shit. It's not a complete destruction. It's a house cleaning. A lot of you just need to do spring cleaning, all right? Is a channel message I got for that one. The other crazy thing that was in, you know, this house right now, and mind you guys, this is how we're all dealing in relationships with other people. The North Node is there. Your soul's purpose, all right? There's some major lesson that we're supposed to be learning at this time, and especially with this war regarding our North Node and what our purpose in all of this bullshit is. We need to have a conversation about what is the point of us being here, all right? What's the point? That's what we need to be talking about. The North Node was sitting at 23 Taurus, which is a jewelry shop filled with the most magnificent jewels. We already have this symbol telling us that we've got too much. Now we've got this energy of seeing temptation, which is an overabundance of wealth and things that look shiny and are distracting. We can't get distracted right now. The North Node is telling us right now that we cannot get distracted. It is our purpose to ignore that shiny jewelry because it's just shit at the end of the day. It means nothing. It might have a financial value, whatever, but it does not actually mean anything. It's more than you need to carry. You don't need those things. It's a want. What are your wants? What are your needs? That's what you need to be figuring out right now, especially in context of how you deal with other people. All that glitters is not gold is what I got with that. Like, you gotta, people are putting out their best image of themselves in partnerships right now. They're wanting people to, you know, look at them like they're this jewelry shop filled with all these magnificent jewels. Like, we have all these things to offer. Stop selling yourself is what I got with that. Quit trying to sell yourself or quit trying to see things for what it is. All that shit is superficial. Jewelry, money, you know, diamonds, all that shit is superficial. That's the North Node lesson here, is that money and, you know, luxury things are superficial. They don't matter. That's everything that was in the 7th house in Taurus. Cancer, Gemini. Gemini, there was only one thing in Gemini, and this was in the 8th house. Gemini was ruling the 8th house, which is Scorpio's house. Gemini shouldn't be in Scorpio's house. Gemini likes to think, and Gemini doesn't like finality. Gemini likes to go back and forth, you know. It's like mutable energy where it can go between things. It doesn't like clean breaks, Gemini energy. It's the twin. It likes to go back and forth. Well, it's sitting in the house of Scorpio that is also back and forth, death and rebirth, but it's a final one, all right? It's a dead stop and then a rebirth. It's not comfortable for Gemini. What was sitting in Gemini was Ceres, all right? Ceres is like motherly energy, mommy, think wheat, think, you know, Hestia, grain. It's very earthy energy is what I was getting from that. She's also an asteroid. It talks about food, all right, especially food shortages. This was concerning to me. We're already experiencing stuff like that, and I gotta focus. I can't ignore the fact that, like, you know, that's the breadbasket over there that's having conflict. Ukraine, Russia, all those Eastern European countries are the crux of where we get our grain from, for the most part. My incense is about to burn out. And that's important, all right? It also has to deal on a personal level with you guys. This is like your resources and scarcity. I was feeling pentacle energy and like your money, your food, what you actually have. It's a Cancerian Virgo energy, moon energy. It's ruled by like Demeter, you know, the goddess of the harvest and things like that. That energy was sitting at, where was it? I think it was 20 degrees. Yeah, 20 degrees of Gemini. So Gemini 20 was a cafeteria with abundance of choices. It's in the 8th house, all right? 8th house energy is Scorpio energy. It's hidden. You don't see it. It's hard to find, and it looks ugly, and it's scary, all right? A lot of you are feeling scarce and feeling like you don't have enough, especially resources-wise. That's for a reason. Your judgment is clouded on that. You're not thinking clearly. You're not seeing, all right, what you actually do have. You need to start having a different view on what value is and what is valuable. Just, you have value that's non-tangible. 8th house energy is non-tangible. It's very much up in your head. It's very illusory. You can't see, all right, what your gifts are here, how you're going to be able to provide, how you can be abundant, how you can grow things, how you can stack your resources. You can't see it right now. It's hidden in that Scorpio house. It feels like an ending, a very brutal one, but I don't think it is. I feel like that's being hidden from us for a reason, because they're wanting us to focus not on the material, what we are physically possessing, but on the spiritual, what we are actually doing with our mind and our vibe. All right. Cancer. 2 things were in Cancer: Lilith and the vertex. Lilith energy is so important right now, guys. I can't even explain to you how important Lilith is in this whole equation. I'm going to get to that in another video. But Lilith was at 0 degrees Cancer. The vertex was at 14 degrees Cancer. Like I said, critical degrees, 0. Lilith is at 1, all right? The sign for that transition from Gemini to Cancer with the Lilith degree is a parade of bathing beauties before large beach crowds. And then it switches into 1 Cancer, which is where we are here. On a ship, the sailors lower an old flag and raise a new one. It's obvious what that means with the situation in Ukraine. This is regions being taken over and reestablished. It's lowering the old flag, raising a new. It's a changing of the guard. Lilith is here to invoke that, all right? And that is in the 9th house where all of this stuff is going on. That is our house of spirituality, of our higher learning, of ascension. It's Sagittarian energy. It's temperance. It's how we bring balance. Lilith brings balance by destroying. There's a new regime, all right? The old one that we just left, a parade of bathing beauties before a large beach crowd, that's that narcissistic vibe, all right, that we've been in. The look at me generation, the selfie generation, bathing beauties, everyone in bikinis with a crowd watching them. It's like just wanting to be stared at, wanting to be looked at. Aries energy, begging for attention. Narcissistic. I can't get over it. It's like, that's what it is. That flag needs to be lowered, all right? And a new one needs to be raised, a more stable one, a more loving one, a more nurturing one with Cancerian, a more accepting one, a more emotional one. The vertex is how it's kind of like the opposite, all right, of your ascendant. It's almost like the descendant. It's almost the exact same thing as that, but it more deals with outside energies that you attract or that you pull in given your chart and the energy of the time. So the energy that we're attracting right now as a collective with what I was channeling for today was Cancer 14. Cancer 14, all right, was a very old man facing a vast dark space to the northeast. Obvious reference to Putin here, all right? Very old man. I mean, he's not super old. He's 70. He's my mom's age. But still, he's an older man. And the northeasterly direction, this is looking, I mean, if you're in Russia, all right, and you're looking to the north and the east, that's where you find America. A vast dark space. This is, death and rebirth. If you think about the sun rises in the east, it sets in the west. This person is looking to the east and it's dark, which means the sun has already passed, which means it's about to be setting. This is feeling like an ending is coming. This is realizing that your time is expiring. This is, you know, an old man, all right? He realizes he's at the end and he sees twilight coming. This is like, I got that song, what's the fucking America song? Twilight's last gleaming. You know what I'm saying? It's like the twilight's last gleaming. The bombs, like, I can't with that, all right? I don't want to get too far into that because it's doom and gloom. Anyways, this is the kind of energy that we're attracting right now. This is what we're bringing into the collective, this kind of energy. It's an old generation reaching its time. It's realizing that it's time to put something to bed. It's realizing that old patriarchal ways of rigid thinking, whatever, it's time the sun sets on that energy. It's new dawn, new day. But we have to go through the night first. That's the only thing that concerned me with that, is that it means that we're going into the night. All right. And that was kind of scary. I feel like collectively we're going through a dark night of the soul. I also don't, I want to, you know what, I'll get to that when I get to Saturn. So yeah, that's what's going on in Cancer in the 9th house today with energy wise. What does that mean for you as a human, as a person on a, you know, smaller level? This means that you need to be real careful, all right, about what you're pulling into your life. When something's at a critical degree here, like Lilith is, it can go either way. To me, it works like a conjunction, all right? Conjunction, you don't know. Conjunction, junction, what's the function? You don't know what it is. Because a conjunction is like dead even, so it can go plus or minus. You don't know which way the scale is going to tip. It's up to you to do the tipping there. Lilith is a dangerous energy. It is feminine. If you don't know the story of Lilith, look it up, all right? That is the first Eve, according to everybody. Before Eve, there was Lilith, and she was Adam's, you know, counterpart, and she demanded equality. She refused to bow down to Adam and, you know, submit sexually and to be treated any less than an equal. It's the perfect balance, all right, of feminine and masculine was what she was trying to achieve. And because she tried to achieve that, she was shunned and thrown into the underworld and, like, pretty much forever been looked at as, you know, a troublemaker or a demon. That's by the patriarchal, though, you know, church and all the people that invented these things in astrology. I embrace Lilith energy. I feel it coming right now. I feel like that's what needs to come in and take over. Aries popping up. It's ushering in more Lilith. Lilith is in 0 Cancer. She's in the house of the mother and she's pissed off is what this is. All right, this is you guys, all right? You need to be, you know, protecting your brood. You need to be really putting your foot down and be willing to literally die for your cause. Look at what's happening in Ukraine right now. Look at these people fighting for their very right to survive and for their children and their homes and their, you know, physical homes and, you know, emotional homes, all these places. It's a very Cancerian theme when your homeland gets attacked. But they're doing what Lilith wants, which is to not accept patriarchal, you know, beating into submission and making you feel less than. Like Russia's trying to, you know, not even treat Ukraine like it's a country at all and not an equal whatsoever. It's trying to take their rights away as their own motherland and to mother themselves. Who's doing that to you right now? Who is taking away your ability to, you know, mother yourself and to take care of your brood? That's what you need to be figuring out right now. Lilith is demanding that. She will fuck your house up, all right, if you do not go and start embodying her energy and demanding equality and respect for your family and for what is important to you at an emotional level. All right, 10th house was ruled by Leo. That house was empty. Probably because all the Leo energy is way too busy down here on Earth playing out in the form of, you know, fighting and trying to protect and trying to be brave and trying to exert force. Okay? That was in the 10th house. The 10th house is our reputation as a collective, you know, what we're doing, what we're going to be known for, what our job is. We don't fucking know right now, okay? The Leo energy that we need right now to take on all this crazy stuff that's happening, we're lacking it. We don't have the courage, all right? We're not strong enough yet to do what we need to do. We're not willing to be a lion and be the apex predator right now. We're not willing to take on that responsibility. That's what it shows me when that house is empty. And that's a problem. We need to get into that energy. We need to get into the energy where we can take control of what is going on. I got a big emperor energy from that. Like, nobody wants to be the boss because they're inheriting, you know, a shit show. It's like a sinking ship and nobody wants to be the captain. But somebody better take a hold of the damn wheel before we all sink. 11th house, only thing in the 11th house was the midheaven, and that was in 5 Virgo. 11th house is our community. What's going on, how we're interacting with each other, like our friends, what's going on socially, stuff like that. Let me pull you this symbol for that. What did I just say? 11th house, midheaven. All right, midheaven was in 5 Virgo. A man becoming aware of nature spirits and normally unseen spiritual energies, all right? First of all, it's man, masculine energy, becoming aware of nature spirits that are normally not seen, all right? These energies are usually hidden, especially to man, and I take it very literally as a man, not a feminine. Don't trip if you're a man or a female. It's masculine and feminine energy, and we both have all of it. This is the masculine side, all right? Being forced to acknowledge that there are things that are otherworldly, feminine in nature, and out of their control. This is what you see playing out with Ukraine and things like that. You can't look away from this car wreck, all right? Men are being brought to tears. They're being forced to see this destruction. And we've been so desensitized with our media and the things that we watch and the video games and all that crap. I'm so desensitized to violence that it takes a lot to shock people these days. And we have a mass shooting in America on the daily basis. And like, most people don't even hear about them because they just aren't shocking enough to be covered on the news anymore because they're so commonplace. Guess what? This shit that's going on right now is beyond shocking, all right? We cannot turn away. They're digging up mass graves of people. They're bombing children. They are raping women. They are, you know, there's atrocities. And those have always been going on since the dawn of time. But something feels different right now. I don't know why, but it does. It's a different context. So that was all that was going on in that house, okay? The midheaven. The midheaven is basically how we're like, the midheaven, the ascendant, and your sun sign, I kind of feel like all work together to give the vibe that we give out to each other. It's like what we end up being known for, or how we're remembered when we mix all those together. Right now, all of our energy at those positions is kind of a like, we don't know what the hell to do. We're scared to take action because we're scared of our reputation. And I feel that on a collective level for like NATO and the US, like they're scared to become that father lion or mother lion and come in and defend. But at the same time, they know that they're going to be forced into this, you know, position of having to make a choice. I feel like it's the same thing going on with you guys collectively. It's like, you know, you need to take charge, but we can't yet. For some reason, we're still in this holding pattern. I feel like that's coming to an end, though. I feel like we were allowed to stay in that holding pattern in Aries because Aries allows you to be selfish and focus on yourself. Now that it's Taurus season, second house energy, that is shit that's in front of our face that we can't look away from. That is, you know, we need to deal with. It's in our touch, taste, smell. We have to deal with it. All right, 12th house was ruled by Libra. We have 2 trans-Neptunian objects in there. I don't know how to pronounce this one. I've heard it pronounced multiple ways. Make or make, and then haumea, all right? These are both feminine energies. Again, these trans-Neptunian objects. A trans-Neptunian object is what Pluto is. It's a dwarf planet or something of the sort, okay? It's something past Neptune. That's not quite a planet, but kind of is a planet, all right? I still think Pluto got so pissed off when Pluto was downgraded. But these fit into the same characteristics as Pluto. Make, whatever it is, they used to refer to that as the Easter Bunny. This energy, there's a legend around it where it deals with a masculine energy having to force themselves into a period of basically like being a hermit. so that they can emerge as kind of like a feminine high priestess energy that can go back to their community and share their wisdom that they've gained. They used to have a contest for somebody called the Birdman, and they would take all the most apt warriors in the tribe and they would force them all to swim, all right, to this remote island that was super treacherous. And the person who won had to sit in a cave then for a year and just receive downloads and channeled messages and come back then and share that with the village and then wash, rinse, repeat, do it again. This, in the 12th house, this is hard. We're having a hard time coming out of the cave. I feel like we've gone into the cave with this energy and we're having a hard time coming out. The 12th house is what's unseen. We're searching in that cave right now to try to figure out how we're supposed to come out and talk about everything that's going on within our, lives, in our communities, in the world, all right? We just don't know. We're not ready to emerge from the cave is what I got from that. Haumea, that's another one that deals with food and resources, especially children. It's big Scorpio energy. This is a Hawaiian goddess. It deals with environmental issues, things like that. But at the crux of the Haumea energy is the instinctual urge to survive at all costs, all right? Haumea was killed multiple times, and every time she was killed, she came back stronger because she knows that she has to survive at all costs. She even went as far, all right, Haumea, part of the legend, to not even need male energy to procreate anymore. She could basically birth her own children, fertilize herself. She made sure, and nature does this, all right? There's several species in nature that, asexual, is that what it's called? Where you can literally spawn and grow and birth, your own spawn without the interaction of any other organism. That's what Haumea does. These two energies together, sitting in the 12th house, we know, all right, this is what we're working out, I feel like, with each other and everyone collectively. The 12th house is Piscean energy. It's being ruled right now, by Libra. Air does not mix with water, all right? But Libra energy, I'm not as mad as the other ones being there. Libra energy wants to balance. It wants to find a middle ground. It wants to hear both sides of the story and then make a decision. We're hearing so much stuff now behind the scenes, in our minds, things like that. We're trying to sort it out, and we're trying to figure out how we survive, how we come out of this catastrophe, how the hell do we regenerate? We're planning the rebirth. We know there needs to be one, but we're stuck in the 12th house overthinking it, all right? There's too much thinking, not enough action. There's also a lot of stuff that still doesn't make sense to a lot of you right now. You still don't get why things happened, and you're dwelling on that, all right? You just have to understand that not all things are meant to be shown to you. That's High Priestess energy. You're not meant to see certain and know everything. High Priestess doesn't talk. She will not tell you anything, but she'll make you feel it. You're not going to get the answers that a Libra wants. Libra is like a courtroom. They want facts, and they want evidence, and they want proof. Pisces energy is none of that, all right? High Priestess is none of that. The High Priestess just knows and feels, and that's what we're struggling with. We feel all this crazy stuff, but we can't for the life of us understand how to process it or what to do with it, all right? So we need to be working on that, please. Hey, all right. Let me tell you the degrees that those two were in. They're both in Libra, all right? Make one, the one about the masculine needing to become more feminine and get tamed and be of service to the community. That was at 7 Libra. The symbol for 7 Libra is a woman feeding chickens and protecting them from the hawks. What was I talking about? Protecting your brood. Remember the ducklets on the ponds, things like that. This is, a feminine energy feeding her flock because she knows that there's hawks coming down trying to swoop them and trying to steal them. She's trying to make sure that her kids still get nourished and that are still protected even when there's danger about. She's putting herself between the hawk and the babies, the feminine is, and still providing food. Both of these, asteroid or TNOs have to deal with, nurturing and feminine and providing. This is what they want from us, all right? This is what they want the masculine to do. They want the masculine to, embody this energy of being the protector and feeding the children instead of being the hawk, swooping down and trying to take and feast right now. The time for taking and eating is done. It's a big shift that needs to happen. There's also a lot that we are feeling like we can't protect right now, or we're confused as to how to protect these things. Haumea, the one about, the Scorpio Hawaiian energy that regenerates all the time, was at 28 Libra. 28 Libra, a man in deep gloom, unnoticed, angels come to his help. Deep gloom, unnoticed, Pisces energy is, I always get Kurt Cobain when I channel for Pisces. Misunderstood, brooding, emotionally confusing energy. That's what we've been stewing in, and we've been overthinking it with that Libra vibe, and to the point of exhaustion, and we feel like we're hitting rock bottom, but you have to see that something is coming. There's some kind of divine intervention that I keep feeling. It's like, and I feel it with the war. I also feel it in the collective. There's something for a lot of us that's just coming out of nowhere that we had given up on, that feels like it was never coming to us, that, we can't see the bailout or the parachute that's been provided for us because we're so stuck in the 12th house right now, trying to process the trauma that we've been through the last few years collectively. All right. Let's see. What's next? All right, that was the 12th house with Libra. First house was being ruled by Scorpio. We have the South Node and the Ascendant in Scorpio right now. South Node deals with past life karma. That's something that's going through our head right now. We're thinking about the past. We're thinking about endings with Scorpio energy. And being in the first house, Aries and Scorpio both are ruled to some extent by Mars, and they like death and destruction. These two energies, all right, Scorpio is a very emotional one. Aries is a very fiery one. In our minds right now, there's like a war being raged. It's about regrets from the past with that South Node being placed there. And it's showing, all right, on the outside with our Ascendant being there. Our inner turmoil and our regrets are manifesting in a way where we're putting out that energy to the outside with our Ascendant. Your Ascendant is what you want people to think about you, what the face that you want to put on, what you kind of want to show to everyone, you hope that they see in you. The Ascendant's in Scorpio, which means, we're wanting to feel like we're mysterious, or we're the boss, or, we're sexy, or, we have very firm boundaries and we're intimidating. But we're conflicted with that energy, and our South Node is telling us that that energy didn't serve us really in the past, of being so fixed like a Scorpio and being selfish in that first house energy. That didn't serve us. We need to move past that. The two Sabian symbols for the Scorpio degrees today were 23, a rabbit metamorphosized into a fairy, which is a nature spirit, and then 29 on the Ascendant, which again, critical degree, can go either way. 29 was an Indian woman pleading to the chief for the lives of her children. All right? Oh, Jesus. Like, I can't even with that one. And the 30th degree after that is children in Halloween costumes indulging in various pranks. This is, playful energy, also wearing masks, childish behavior, things like that. But this degree of Scorpio with the Ascendant, this is a woman pleading to her chief for the life of her children. This plays out so hard right now. This is all that's on some people's mind, is like, please, I'm begging you, somebody come save us. You're praying to higher ups. You're praying to people who you think are more powerful than you. You're praying to, people who you feel like have your fate or your children's fate in their hands. This is all like, you know, first house energy though that you're telling yourself is not true. It's not what's really going on. This is the battle you're having. You're feeling like you need a savior. You're feeling like you need to beg for something. You don't. Dead that right now. You don't need it. The rabbit into a fairy thing. Rabbits are quick, fleeting. They bounce around. They breed rapidly. They they're also luck. That energy being transformed into like a nature spirit, whatever that is. This is, first of all, I got, you know, the rabbit literally being very much that short amount of time or whatever, that life is, it's done, and we're becoming a spirit now. That's a nature spirit. You're being somehow transformed back into nature with that symbol. I didn't really get a whole lot for that one. All right, for 23 Scorpio. Other than it's like luck manifesting into something more transcendental, like more spiritual. Second house today was being ruled by Sag. Another critical degree, 29-degree moon in Sagittarius. This one, y'all, freaked me out. This goes all the way back to where we started with the bomb, all right, that didn't explode. 29 Sag is a fat boy mowing the lawn. First of all, if you are history buff, you will know that, you know, Fat Boy was, I want to say it was had something to do with one of the nuclear bombs that was dropped. It was either Big Boy or Fat Boy, something like that. I don't even know. There was a name for it. That came up in the moon, all right? Moon sign is at 29 degrees, which means it meant at that time when I was channeling that it was getting ready to switch from, you know, Sag into Capricorn. 29th degree is reaching a boiling point. Fat boy mowing the lawn. I got a lot of downloads from that with the moon sign. It's tending to your garden, all right? Second house energy is what's going on down here on Earth. This is somebody, again, with the excess themes. This is somebody with too much, all right? They make the reference to fat for a reason. This boy, you know, he needs exercise. He needs to go out and do something productive. He's doing labor. You would assume that he's well taken care of because he's well fed. He's also mowing down grass. When you clear grass, it opens up your vision. Working off some of this excess, all right, cuts down this grass and it clears your pathway to see which way you need to go. It's also more about decluttering and getting rid of excess and waste, especially in the physical realm right now. A lot of you need to have a spring cleaning and just throw shit out, all right? Just throw it out. Start over, whatever. So that's the only thing that was sitting in Sag today in the second house. Third house, ruled by Capricorn today, we had Pholus and Pluto. Pluto, I just did a whole reading about Pluto through the generations. Figure out what generation of Pluto you belong in. Pluto's in Capricorn right now. I'm part of the Pluto and Libra generation. A lot of you watching are more than likely Pluto and Libra, or Pluto and Scorpio, or probably Pluto and maybe even possibly, I don't know. It's important though, all right? And go watch that video. Pluto was at 28 Capricorn today. 28 Capricorn, Pluto, the planet of destruction, a large aviary. Aviary, birds, all right? An aviary is where you would keep a lot of birds. I thought of planes when I first heard this, or like lots of messages, lots of things, lots of Gemini Twitter energy, like chatter energy that I was getting with this. That's on Pluto in the, you know, third house, I believe it was. Yeah, third house, the house of communication, how we deal with other people, brotherly, sisterly energy, you know, getting the word out, stuff like that. We have the planet of death and destruction and, you know, Scorpio energy sitting there on a degree that says a large aviary. It's too much. It's too much communication being going on. There's too many things, all right? You're over-analyzing again, I picked up on. With respect to Ukraine, I got a very ominous message about literally about large aviaries, like large groups of planes. And being that it's on the moon sign and it's in the sign, you know, third house, This is highly emotionally charged energy with a 29-degree moon. That's a moon that has reached, you know, a full moon, getting ready to hit its peak and then start waning. That's where we're at with that. And it's in, that moon was in, you know, Sag. There's Pluto energy, though, how we end that emotional situation that I was talking about in the other house, in the second house, what's going on right now physically. Our emotions are reaching a boiling point. It's meant to trigger something spiritually, though, with that Sag energy. You're being required, like the conversation that's being had right now energetically is death with Pluto. Like, how we fix this, where do we go from here, what do we need to talk about? And they're hard conversations, really fucking hard conversations that need to be had right now. And there's a lot of them. Aviaries too. If you've ever been in like an aviary or like a large, you know, bird containment or whatever, it's noisy. There's shit everywhere, literally. There's birds flying in all directions. There's no kind of order. That's how the communication is going on right now in the world. No order. Everyone's trying to be heard. Everyone's just shitting where they want to, all right? And crossing boundaries and flying all over the place, especially with the way that we're speaking to each other, or the way that news is being disseminated, or the way that, you know, communication is happening. That's dangerous energy to be in, all right? And it's coupled with Pholus. Pholus is one of the centaurs, all right? Centaur energy is masculine. It's always very highly triggering. Pholus was the one that has to deal, to sum it up basically, with sacrificing something for the greater good. And it's something of yourself, and it's usually something physical, like in the physical world, to gain some kind of higher spiritual knowledge. Pholus like ended up, you know, basically killing himself because he unleashed, kind of like Aries did. He like was supposed to guard this holy cask of wine that the gods had, and he failed miserably, and he let Hercules get a hold of it, and it unleashed this, you know, chaos ensued. And the only way to right the wrong was for him to basically like throw himself on the sword and sacrifice himself to like throw it all right, redo the butterfly effect, something like that. That's what Pholus is asking with Pluto. It's asking you to make a self-sacrifice, especially, you know, the way that you're talking and communicating with people, and how you're learning, and the information that you're taking in or putting out. All right, you need to take a hard look at that, and you need to, are you trying to be a martyr, or are you doing things self-sacrificing in a nefarious Plutonian way, or are you doing it for a better way to transform? These hard conversations need to be had, all right? And it's gonna require a lot of you to throw yourself on a sword and, you know, take a death of some sort, you know, spiritually, to let go of a lot of things. You're going to have to do that. You're gonna have to say goodbye. It's gonna feel very painful, but you have to sacrifice those things willingly. I just keep getting the energy of when, you know, a lot of the indigenous, you know, Southern American tribes would throw people into volcanoes to appease the gods. But it didn't work a lot of times if you had to force that person to do it. They had to willingly sacrifice themselves. That's what this is. You can't make somebody else sacrifice this, or this, you know, can't be a sacrifice that's taken from you and thrown into the fire. You have to make a voluntary, conscious choice to sacrifice these things to get the ending that you want with Pluto in these placements. The other degree of Pholus was in 7 Capricorn. A veiled prophet speaks, seized by the power of a god. It's the message that you're getting, all right? The prophet is in the house of communication in Gemini. You're getting downloads. You don't know why, all right? I feel like you're getting these messages, or you're feeling these feelings like I have to do something, or there's some conversation that I need to have. Those aren't mistakes, all right? You are intuitively being led by your guides and by, you know, the collective energy right now to go, you know, deal with your shit, basically, is what that is. They want you to go feel that energy. It's like things are being revealed to you, or like revealed to you, the more that you embrace your spirituality, whatever that means to you. I don't care what religion you are. We're all spiritual. Everyone just needs to be spiritual. not religious. There's a big difference. That was the main message from that one. The fourth house is a effing nightmare. Okay. Nightmare. Ruled by Aqua. What did I miss? Hold on a second, guys. Taurus, Gemini, Cancer in the ninth, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sag, Cap, Aqua, and Pisces. Why don't I have the fifth house on here? What did I miss? 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know where my Pisces stuff is. I gotta find that. Anyways, let's move on to, oh, there it is. I see it. God, I'm blind. Fourth house is not a mess. The fifth house is where the mess is. That's why I couldn't see it. Pisces. Oh, Jesus. This high priestess energy that's lurking is scary. All right, let's get to the fourth house. Fourth house was ruled by Aquarius. If you watch my channel, you already know that I have beef with Aquarian and Cancerian energy. They don't work together, but this, new energy that we're in is forcing us to make those two energies work. Air and water don't mix usually, all right? They're just not conducive to working with each other. It's hard, but we have to figure out how to make them work. We have two things sitting in, Aquarius today, energetically wise. It was 8 and 18 degrees Aquarius. This was Chariklo and Vesta. Vesta, fire energy, the hearth, it's virginal energy. It's very scorpionic, and it deals with sex and, virginity and chastity. It plays out in one of two ways. You're overly virginal or you're extra slutty. And that's that kind of vibe with Vesta. It is about, the hearth and the virgin spirit. It's the virginal chastity of a woman. It's that kind of energy. And it's sitting there with Chariklo, which is Chiron's wife, basically. The feminine version of the wounded healer. But instead of healing the self like Chiron is, Chariklo, his wifey, deals with healing relationships with other people, partnerships, husband, wife energy, that dynamic. So basically in the house of the mother, Cancerian house, fourth house, you've got this energy that wants you to sort out your shit with your relationships and your sexuality. Who is benefiting from these kind of relationships, especially sexual ones or ones that involve, very intense scorpionic feelings and energies? Is, who's paying the price for it? Who's benefiting from it? Are you gaining anything from that? Who has the upper hand? You have to look at, sexuality and things like that and what kind of, role that's playing right now for you. That's very important. The 2 degrees that we have Aqua today with those on it are beautifully gowned wax figures on display. That was the Chariklo energy, how you deal with your, partnerships, how you heal that energy, what's going on with that. There are a lot of you that have energies, in your home that are affecting you, especially mother issues. Some of you, this is how this plays out. You see what is it? Where did I just put it? Oh yeah, masked figure. No, what am I doing? 8, yeah. Beautifully gowned wax figures on display. Have you ever been to the wax museum in Vegas or, one of those wax museums? They look exactly like, the image of the person, the celebrity that you're going to see. But they're all fake. They're made out of wax. They melt in the sun. When they get exposed to light or heat or put under pressure, they melt because they're fake. This is about breaking down, all right, fakeness, all right, especially within your own home. It's like I just got that little Boxes song from Weeds on the hillside. Everything looks all good from the front, like a cookie cutter, perfect little house. But that's a wax figure. And the second the sun shines down on this and exposes everything, it's going to melt and fold like a house of cards. What in your life is doing that, all right? They want you to pay very close attention to that. It has to deal with your partnerships and it's affecting your home life. What are you faking right now, or what is just a front, or what is not as it seems? What is going to come crumbling? The other degree that we had in Aqua today was 18 Vesta. That's that energy, dealing with the virginity and things like that. It's a man being unmasked at a masquerade. More fakeness, all right, with these energies in relationships. There's a lot of fakeness, and there's a lot of putting on, a pretend face in some of these relationships that you're dealing with. A lot of it. And a lot of that, it needs to be unmasked. There's this whole theme about things being revealed and coming out of the woodwork and the water and things like that to be revealed. And that needs to be looked at. What are you faking, all right? What are you hiding behind? What are you using as a shield or a mask to protect yourself, or you think you're mothering yourself with that energy, but when it's, a TNO or an asteroid or something like that, it's not usually happy energy, I don't feel like. All right, 5th house, Pisces house. Pisces deals with the father. We're seeing a lot of paternal issues play out right now with the energy that we're in. A lot of Mars-like themes, things like that. We've got a lot. Oh my God, my thing just closed. My guys are being like, wrap this shit up. This does not make you any money. Go read some love shit so people will not stop following you. Anyways, let's finish this up because we've only got, this is the last house. Pisces energy today. It was ruling the 5th house, which is Leo's house, fatherly, which was empty, all right? By today, Leo energy was empty in the energy that I was channeling for today. This is the father. This is what we teach the children. This is, daddy knows best energy. It's playing out big right now, and we have a lot going on there. We have Juno at a critical degree at 0 degrees. We have Mars, the god of war, at 4 degrees. We have Nessus, who is the most, sinister of all these centaurs, I feel like. It deals with rape and revenge. Nessus basically raped Chiron's wife, Chariklo. He raped her and tried to conceal it somehow. It wasn't Chariklo. It was Hercules' wife, I want to say. I'm getting confused on my mythology. There's so much. This was Chiron's wife, all right? And Nessus, Hercules' bride. Nessus raped Hercules' bride basically on the way over on some journey or whatever. And Hercules obviously, killed Nessus for this, heinous act. But not before Nessus hid some poison in his semen, all right, that he had given to, Hercules' wife, which she then unknowingly basically transported to her husband. And Nessus got the sweet revenge from, beyond the grave. Nessus is a dark energy. It's, being so spiteful and so hateful. It's getting revenge on something you shouldn't get revenge for because you got what you deserved. If he would have never, raped Hercules' wife, Hercules would have never killed him. Why are you seeking revenge for something that you put yourself into? The energy of this, object of Nessus is to, do you deserve the punishment that you're getting? If you fucking deserve it, take it like a man or a woman, and don't go try to dish out more because you don't like how you got treated when you got caught with your bad behavior. That's all sitting in the house of the dad who holds people responsible and accountable. Problem is, it's in Piscean energy, which is confusing and quiet and passive, not active. We're having an internal struggle with all this shit, and it's manifesting in an external way in the 5th house energy, in a very Leo, theme of pride and ego and, strength and things like that. We also have Venus, Neptune, and Jupiter, if that wasn't enough. We got 3 major, we got Mars, Venus, Neptune, and Jupiter. 4 major planets, all in this one sign of the father, all, competing with each other and things like this. Let me read you what these degrees are, because these degrees were a lot. So for 0 degrees Pisces, which can be, 30 degrees Aqua or, 1 Pisces, moonlit fields, once Babylon, are blooming white. Moonlit fields in Aquarian energy, all right? Aquarian energy, I just said, doesn't get along with Cancer. Cancer's the moon. This is peak Aquarian intelligence. Aquarius is the most intelligent sign in the zodiac. This is the 30th degree, the last iteration of Aquarian energy for the Sabian symbols. That's the completion of becoming a fully evolved Aquarius. A fully evolved Aquarius is not just mentally and intelligent and book smart, they're also emotionally intelligent. That's what this is about. Moonlit fields. This is when your emotions, all right, when the moon is shining down on earth, the fields, when the moon and the emotions are exposed in the physical, all right, blooming white, this is peace. You're getting peace. Once you're able to expose, emotions from a very confusing Aquarian energy, which is hard for Aquarians to do things like that, that's when you reach, full Zen. The next is after that is Pisces, a crowded public marketplace. Lots of people, all right, lots of opportunities, a never-ending sea of possibilities and way that things can go. And, are you selling or are you buying in this marketplace? Are you trying to attract people to come, pick up your product, or are you trying to, consume something? That's what they're wanting you to look at with this. That was a degree for Juno, all right? Juno deals with relationships again. Juno is Jupiter's wife. It deals a lot with luck. It's got a lot of, themes that carry along with that. Intimacy, moon energy, stuff like that. I feel like it's happy in Pisces. But a lot of that, it's still causing a lot of confusion. And again, it's tied to our relationships and the way that we're interacting with others. You have to be your own parent right now. A lot of you aren't. A lot of you are not, parenting yourself the way that you would parent your children. You need to be, your own boss and hold yourself accountable. I feel like that's not happening here. We also had Mars, the planet of war, in 4 Pisces. Heavy car traffic on a narrow isthmus linking 2 seaside resorts. Huge message, all right, for Ukraine that I got on this one. These 2 seaside things, the isthmus, the ports, the things being linked. I feel like this has something to do with Crimea and Odessa. And I feel like that and Transnistria, those regions, I feel like I see them circling and taking it like that. And it draws troops from Kyiv and, the northern and western parts of the country down towards the south where Russia is stronger and where I believe they have hidden things there. I don't know why I feel it. I feel like there's things that we're underestimating down there. Sleeper cells, things of that nature, we're underestimating. That's all. I feel like that has to do with this. I feel like that's the direction that the war is heading. It's also this need to bridge these 2 things that are separated by a huge body of water, which represents emotions. That's what we're at war with. We're trying to link together these 2 physical bodies that are separated by this ridiculous, sea of emotions. And it's in confusing Piscean energy, but we have to be the ones to build the ship. We have to be the emperor here. We have to plan the journey. We have to figure out how to bridge the gap here. We're not wanting to do that. It's too hard. Then we've got Nessus, the old, rapey energy here at 15. This one, y'all, 15 degrees Pisces is an officer drilling his men in simulated attack. With the father energy, the war, all that stuff, that's literal. I don't have to explain it to you. How does this play out for you? What did I just say? Be your own boss. Get your soldiers in line. This is a drill, all right? The battle for you is coming up. You need to make sure your troops are ready. You need to make sure they're all in line. That's not happening, all right? We're not holding ourselves accountable, and we need to. We're trying to hold other people accountable for things that have gone wrong in our lives. We're pointing fingers as a collective. This book is teaching our kids to be gay, or, that person is a bad influence, and, that's why everything's horrible, or Trump did this, or, Biden did this. Like, stop. Stop trying to hold other people accountable and hold yourself accountable right now. Apply that judgmental energy, that fatherly, paternalistic, I know what's the best, and I'm the judge, jury, executioner, to your own self right now is what they want you to do with that. Venus, the planet of love, right, which is good in Pisces. That's where, likes that energy, is at 16, the degree, right after the officer drilling the men. the Nessus, the horrible rapey energy, right after that, we get in a quiet moment, a creative individual experiences the flow of inspiration. When we, hold ourselves accountable, when we stop, trying to get revenge or execute karma or justice for things that we deserved in the first place, all right? If you're here looking for a relationship thing, all right, and you ended up in a crap relationship, stop blaming that other person entirely for it. That is not how this works. You also have a portion in that falling apart. Why didn't you walk away before it fell apart? Why did you tolerate so much bullshit? Why did you try to save another person instead of saving yourself? There's a lot of issues that go into that you need to look at, and that's what these degrees are asking you to do. Venus 16, that, a creative individual experiences the flow of inspiration. When you are quiet and you pause and you think about what is going on here and you process all this crazy stuff that's been going on, it's like you have an enlightenment. I just got like a magician type energy, or a Wheel of Fortune type energy. It's like you spin fate back in a better direction. Neptune and Jupiter, we're at 24 and 25 degrees of Pisces today. Neptune, Pisces ruler, likes to be here, likes to be with Pisces. Doesn't so much like the fifth house, all right? Jupiter also exalted in Pisces, loves Pisces. Pisces loves to be, with Jupiter. Again, though, in the fifth house, Jupiter speaks to expansion, luck, amplifying anything. Neptune is confusing themes. Neptunian energy, think High Priestess energy. We're at 24 and 25 degrees. The purging of the priesthood and a new moon reveals that it's time for people to go ahead with their different projects. This is how they want you to end all this, all right? Neptune and Jupiter, the way that you get your luck back, Jupiter energy gives me Wheel of Fortune energy. The way that you come out of the confusing Neptunian 24th degree energy into the abundant 25 degree energy of Jupiter there, you have to take the wheel into your own hand. Stop. It's not Jesus take the wheel here. There's nothing fated about what's going on. This is spirit putting you in the middle of a storm to see if you can sail your way out or if you're waiting for someone to come save you. All right? You have to be able to save yourself right now. Everyone does. It's like almost an every man for themselves energy. But the purpose of that energy right now is to figure out if you're strong enough then to save yourself, then you can save other people. Just like with the plane, all right? If you don't put your oxygen mask on first when it's going down in flames, you're of zero use to anyone else. That's where they're putting us right now. The 24, 25 degrees, that's 24 and 25 Pisces. I read you 26. It was supposed to be 24 and 25. An inhabited island was for 24. And then the purging of the priesthood. Islands are isolated. It's a mystery as to how they're inhabited. A lot of you feel like you're on an island or that you are isolated. I also got big old war things for this. I feel like Crimea is the island. I also was getting a lot of downloads about Putin's palace. I feel like either he's there or they've created a whole country. If you've not researched that, jump down that word hole. I'm not going to steer you there. Look up Putin's palace. So yeah, that's what's going on right now. I hope that any of that made sense. I have not looked at my chat once. I have not seen what anyone is saying. I don't want to say I don't care because I care a lot about all of us as a collective and humanity. But I don't care if people are leaving my channel right now, if they're not willing to listen to these kind of things or to try to get better as a human being. If the only reason that you are here is to spy on your ex-boyfriend or girlfriend and, stalk a love relationship, you're missing the point. And you're one of those people who will, are waiting on someone to come save you. And that is not going to serve you in this new time period, in this new energetic period that we are going into. You need to understand why you're seeking the information that you're seeking from people like me. If it's some stupid, frivolous purpose, like you just want to know why somebody doesn't love you, all right? You got bigger fish to fry because that is so trivial. The reason why that person doesn't love you is because you don't love yourself enough to recognize that it doesn't, matter one way or the other if everyone loves you or not. It does not matter. You cannot please everyone. You need to take that lesson away. All right. I was going to take super chats tonight. I don't think I've probably even gotten any because I feel like nobody wants to hear this shit and probably no one's going to pay me to talk about this. I don't care though, I don't. And yep, look at that. $0 for this long ass discussion. All right. Which means I am going to jump off and get back on. I don't even know if I should. Let me read these chats real fast. Cassie, you're pregnant? Holy shit. That is crazy. Let's see. Oh, did you do aqua yet? You guys, look. Stop tripping on your sign. Oy. Your sign doesn't matter. You need to listen to all these energies. This is how the energy is in the universe right now and how it is affecting your life. It doesn't matter what sign you are. The only relevance to your sign and your chart and things like that is the nuanced way in which that energy will affect you. All right? Oy. Thank you, Etty. I really appreciate that. I hate that nobody gives a crap about stuff like this. It's so important. You guys wouldn't care about your ex if you would pay attention to these things. All right. So I guess I'll, well, it's 4 o'clock in the morning. I should probably just, log out of here. But I think I'm just going to go do some, how are they feeling about you? So, I don't get kicked out of my apartment because that's the only thing anyone will pay for is to spy on their exes, which is really depressing. And I'm kind of over that, but it is what it is. So yeah. There's that. I hope you guys got something out of that. Please comment, share, like, subscribe, do all that cool shit. I would appreciate it. Because I got a feeling I'm just going to lose so many subscribers doing these readings. Which sucks. Because I love you all. Anyways, guys, I will talk to you later. I'm going to get on out of here because your girl is tired. All right, y'all. See ya.